down to whatever I want you to go down to. So
What's the? I
I
mean,
think,
like when you talk about the 10% of the contracts from UPS on cost plus, what's the margin difference on those versus the non-cost plus as an average?
it's 10% easily.
So the non-contract, just to be clear, the non-cost
No,
plus
no, no.
contracts are 10%
10% better. Yes, the margin is 10 points better.
11% margins if it's non-cost plus, and then cost plus margins of how much about?
So let's say your cost plus margin could be 4 or 5%. But if I'm in a non-cost plus, I can get up to 15% margin on on average, because I'm not showing you how I make every bit of my money.
Yeah.
I'm giving you standardized ranges, or I'm baking this into what do you need from a justification standpoint or an ROI, Mr. or Mrs. Client, in order to outsource this business.
Yeah, got it. You're solving to their returns. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Versus you forcing me as a procurement player to just show you numbers, and you get better opportunity on your side to look like, what I say, look like a hero, versus you taking everything from me. And by the way, when you do that, and it goes to cost plus, everything I do is going to be a cost. There is very little continuous improvement in that environment, because I'm going to charge you for everything. So the relationship becomes a bit more contentious as well, if I can argue that point.
Okay. And then one other interesting thing you said was, I guess, the larger 3PLs kind of have a massive advantage over the smaller 3PLs, so especially the ones that aren't in any particular niche. Are they, over the long term, if we're thinking, like you said, 2 to 3 years, when pricing becomes a little bit more transparent, who do you think are the main kind of losers from that? Is it the big guys or is it the small guys?
Maybe I say this because, and I'm going to preface it that maybe my vantage point is a bit skewed because I do come from a larger organization.
Yeah,
I
sure.
still see the larger players having a much more dominant advantage, simply because I have an opportunity to capitalize from a cost structure on new enhancements and embrace new ways of doing business. Again, where does when you think about automation, what we haven't even touched on yet is, where is AI in my strategy?
Yeah.
And if I am a large player, I have an opportunity to introduce AI into my infrastructure, whereby if I'm a small niche player, I'm going to make a bet. Maybe I'll make a bet that I can get to a point where I'm going to spend money on that AI strategy. But if I make a bet that's wrong, then I don't have margin to overcome that impact, and I can go out of business. So it really becomes, I think, an advantage state for the larger players to be able to move in that direction and drive the market on where that automation adoption is going to occur, which then is going to put more pressure on smaller players, because ultimately one of the things that comes into play is, what's my handling cost? And if I've got manual labor throughout my environment, maybe I can do that with 1 or 2 customers, but if I want to expand and grow and utilize that across the full spectrum of network players, having a singularly manual process in place hinders me heavily.
Okay. Got it. And maybe, just on AI, are there any particular applications and companies you've come across that you think are really interesting?
So I say automated. I think this is automated intelligence, but there are, and this is really happening, I think, in the grocery industry already. But where we were investigating a company. And by the way, we didn't go forward with this, so I can articulate. I think it matches what you're talking about. We're investigating an organization that is in the grocery environment, to where the warehouse